apart these days. We're sharing more. So, at Geico, we'd like to say thanks. Thanks for sharing your savage dance moves. Thanks for sharing your DIY haircut fails. Thanks for sharing your inner lip sync star. Now, it's our turn to share with the Geico Give Back, a 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. Because we're committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. Visit geico.com/giveback for more info and eligibility.
We're back. Alright, be right back. I got to open up the stream, but I'll be hopping back into channel here shortly. Alright. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another stream of Drawhead X 2006 and the Bearded Brotherhood. I am your bearded benefactor, Andy, and today it is D&D Pathfinder Edition with Legacy of Yenth, where we are about to be underway. It seems as though we may have a whodunit on our hands with a murder. So, I hope you all enjoy today's session, and I hope that you'll enjoy the story. Join us as we hop into our adventure.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'll post it.
Okay.
Adrian Aaron Hansen, okay.
Huh.
That's such a weird thing to...
You know, it's actually not bad either, like, listening to it.
I'll give it a watch after session.
I thought we were waiting on Andy to get...
I'm right here.
Is he back? Oh,
Yeah,
you're back,
I'm right here.
You ready? Okay, cool.
Yeah, he said he was going to drop out and then jump back in and he'd be ready.
Okay, cool. Well, we're ready. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So, as far as a recap, just for the players, it's about 7:30, almost 8ish. Last time, Nathan and Aquila had gone out. Nathan going to, heading to church of Calistria, correct?
Pharasma.
Pharasma. Okay. And on the way there to the Church of Pharasma, Aquila smelled something. They investigated, they found a body, and informed the guards. At which point, they have been informed that the city is now going to have to be on lockdown because this is the 4th murder in the past week. And both Nathan and Aquila have offered their services in finding the culprit. Is that about correct?
Yes.
As well as our party services before talking to them.
Yes, as well as your party services.
I said I'll talk to them and see if they're willing to help.
I mean, we do have a week-ish, or less than a week now.
I'm just saying, we're not leaving this city until this problem's solved.
True.
So,
At least legally.
I imagine you two find your compatriots and introduce them to the guard captain, whose name was... anyone remember?
Oh, Captain,
His
my
name
Captain.
was Guard.
His name was Guard. Okay.
Cap-
That's wonderful.
Captain?
Wow.
I mean, he would respond to Captain. My character wasn't there, so my character doesn't. I think my character
And that's
doesn't know.
fine. The guard's captain's name was Kenneth, or at least that's the one you had been interacting with.
Well, so I don't think we would just take him to our party necessarily, like directly. I
No.
asked him where the guard station was, right?
Yeah, and
So we would go to the tavern first, find our party, talk to them about the situation before bringing them to the guard station, I feel like.
I mean, you already offered your services, so
I know, but we still want to let the party know what they're about to walk into.
cool.
I don't-
Very,
I don't feel like we would just go there and say, hey, follow me, and bring them right to the guard station.
sure.
So do we want? So I guess we would head to the tavern first then.
All right. So you head to the Fair Maiden, which is where the rest of your compatriots would be.
Everyone but me.
They're currently preparing to have some kind of breakfast. So, what would you like to do?
They are awake now, both of them.
No, the Fair Maiden Tavern is preparing.
Oh,
Dark's
okay.
the fair baited.
Yeah, Josie would definitely get up, prep her. She would commune with Lamb Chop and head downstairs for some
About what time you said it was, Bill?
food.
It'd probably be about 8 o'clock.
I say if it was 9, Garp would probably rise and shining, but not yet.
Got it. Okay.
Your party might have other ideas.
That's we'll play it out.
So we only see Adrestia and Gabe, I'm assuming, and Dalton.
That would be correct.
So I'll go ahead and walk up to the table. I'm assuming Akila's following me.
Yep.
Well, hello there, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good morning.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh yes, yes, quite.
So I have some good news and I have some bad news.
Bad news first.
Spit it out.
Good choice. So city is going to be on lockdown. We are not allowed to leave.
Why?
There's apparently been 4 murders within this week, and me and Aquila happened to stumble upon the 4th one. We swear we had nothing to do with it. We just found the body.
The fact that you had to say that.
So, what does this have to do with us?
That's where the good news comes in.
Oh no.
I think, to be perfectly honest, I think he's stretching it when he calls it good news.
So effectively, we led the gods to the body, you know, as one would do, a good citizen as such. And I offered to help. In fact, I even was able to investigate and give them some information about the body itself, such as the fact that it was not killed where the body was found. And they said they would like to accept our help, and you know, because of the fact we're stuck here until this is done, I figured why not? Let's all help these gods figure out what's going on so we can sail across the sea to our destination.
And what are we getting out of this?
The ability to leave and possible payment.
I was very insistent when I repeatedly emphasized that my services and my assistance would be available in exchange for compensation.
Yes, so we're getting paid because the killer here was really emphasizing the money part of it.
I'm not a good citizen of this city. I have no obligation to its people, but I would like to leave, and being paid for my trouble and being able to leave faster is in my interest.
What do you think? Basically, whoever comes with us is going to be the ones that help. Otherwise, if you're not interested in helping,
You can
Sit
stay
in the
here.
city.
You can stay here. Have your thumb up your ass and drink all you want, Garp.
Garp's not even at the table. He's asleep.
Yeah, I'm asleep still.
LOL.
Exactly. I
Y'all
know
haven't
he's
asked-
not here at the table. I know he's asleep.
If you have a
Do
problem with him being asleep, go get his ass up.
we have a
Have
choice?
to wake up Garp. Do we have a choice? Yes. If we can wait until they find the suspect, or lift the lockdown, or we can do something. Those are our choices. Or we could technically try to violate the lockdown and escape the city while the guards are under strict instructions to not let anyone out of the city, thus painting a target on our backs and making us potential subjects of interest for trying to escape the city on lockdown because the murderer would tend to make us look suspicious.
He's not wrong.
I don't tend to be wrong. Not about things that obvious, at least. It's obvious enough that even I feel less than confident about our odds of success, gentlemen. I have to be frank.
Hello, Frank.
Ha ha ha. Then allow me to be a Kella again.
Well, then
I
let's
have
get this over with.
So, just a question, and this is Dalton talking.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Dalton.
Was there any connections between the various murders, prime targets, anything of that nature?
They're all travelers, which means we also need to watch our backs.
No one who's been killed so far is a local. At least no one that we know of who's been killed so far is a local.
Another reason to emphasize we end this quickly.
What information do we have on any of the other murders? Do we get any details on the method of killing or any of that detail?
No, actually.
I would have some more information on the one right before the fourth one had I gotten a better perception check last session, but I really fucked that one up.
Yes, you did.
So, as a suggestion, gentlemen, and men, I propose that all of us who want to go solve a murder mystery, and whoever is brave enough to go with me to wake up Garp, after waking up Garp, go and present ourselves to the city guard and offer our services immediately to assist in investigating and to also find out any information that we can about the other murder scenes, victims, all the good stuff. We didn't want to try and get into all the nitty-gritty without you guys around.
I will go get Garp. And I will meet y'all out front in 15.
Oh, well, all right then.
Lamb chop, come with me, please.
Sound like a killer with sweated bullets over the prospect of having to wake up guard.
It's more like I didn't want to. It's more like I didn't want you to be mad at me specifically, because Garp gets annoying and whiny and bitchy, and it's funnier whenever he's annoyed at someone else.
Murders? Are y'all playing Clue? No, we're playing D&D, and one of our quests right now is to go solve a murder. So we're getting right at that. But,
So, Drestia,
it's kind of like Clue, but more fun. So I head up to Garp's room, knock on the door. I knock on it again.
What?
I open the door. I send Lamb Chop in.
Wait, we put lamb chop in?
Yep. Lamb Chop, you mind going in? Waking up Garp, please. It'll be my pleasure. As he tiptoes in and kind of circles around the bed to see if there's a way of getting up on the bed effectively without having to just kind of jump. Is there like anything there that he can use to climb up on the bed?
Probably my armor.
There is actually a small chest just before the bed, which is used to store your personal effects.
All right, so Lamb Chop will. I'm guessing he's gonna have to do an acrobatics check to hop up on top of this thing.
Yeah.
Oh
Probably.
boy. I'm guessing he does have acrobatics, and that goes off of his dexterity, so that would be. Oh, 20 plus. Plus 4. So it's a 20 on an acrobatics check to hop up on the chest.
Oh yeah, you're able to jump up just fine.
So I'm guessing his head is just above the foot of the bed, so that he can like slowly raises his head up so his eyes come over the edge of it.
That would be an accurate assumption.
Yeah. So, Lamb Chop is going to start. Does he want to pounce? No, I think he wants to make it a little bit more creepy. So he's going to slowly walk his way up the bed on top of Garp and just hover over his head. And then he's very quietly gonna whisper, like, right next to his face, like he could lick him. Wake up!
What the fuck?
And then, do you wake up at that? I'm guessing you don't.
Not that, no.
Okay.
You're like, "Ugh."
Then he is going to very loud. I'm not gonna scream it, but he's basically gonna let out a very loud sheep, right there in your face.
And I will definitely become very alert to that. Very not the way he wants to be woken up.
He's still on top of you.
And I am going to get angry at Clam Chop, and I want to roll an Intimidate.
Oh boy.
Okay. Roll for it.
Alright, let's see. Plus my strength, so...
Nat 1.
Gosh.
Nat 1.
Oh my god, dogs, we hear you. 25.
Do you have intimidating prowess?
Yes. Of course.
Do you have Cornagon Smash?
No.
Oh, do you have Power Attack?
do have power attack.
Look at a Cornigon smash. You'll
I'll
thank
look at
me.
it.
You'll thank me later.
All right, so you
Wow.
rolled a 25.
Yep.
Lamb Chop's hit dice are 4, technically speaking. And what is his wisdom?
It's a 0.
Okay, so Lamb Chop would definitely be terrified at this point. Or, correction, shaken. Seeing as how the
But not
DC
shaken, not stirred.
Yeah. So Lamb Chop's a little shaken up by this.
He's gonna jump off the bed and run at Adresty. This is-
Well, one more person that's not ever gonna wake up Garp again.
I'm just gonna yell, I swear to God, I will use you as bait! And that's my threat.
Okay.
And Adresty will pop her head and say, Garp, we are meeting downstairs. We have some very important news that we need to discuss.
Alright, let me get a minute. Get dressed. I'll be down in a minute. And I will start proceeding to put my shit on.
Okay. Takes you roughly, what would that be, 10 minutes?
Probably to put the half plate on. I'd say it's a good amount of time to get dressed, kind of wake up a little bit.
Alright. But
Crunchy.
while you're doing that, the rest of the party is waiting for you. Really, they're having breakfast. The only one who has not paid for breakfast would be Nathan. Seeing as how he is not lodging here.
Breakfast sounds awesome.
How much
So,
is it?
For breakfast, it will be a gold piece. And it would take you about 4 minutes to put on your armor.
I'll pay at the gold piece.
Okay. It is a much better meal than what the Salty Dog was offering. Instead of a chicken on a raft, it's actual bacon, toast, eggs.
Eggs in a blanket.
This is second breakfast.
Alright, Pippin.
I'll go there for first breakfast. Yes. That's great.
But, okay. So I will assume he is heading down. Getting ready for some nominees of breakfast.
Okay. So you
And we rule a blah to him, everything.
Why?
That's
Why do
what
you
I
ask me
said.
Why? Because we just talked about a lot.
Damn it. Alright, let's just get this over with. Why? Damn it. Why?
Why? What?
I feel as though we may have no other choice at this point.
Not if we want to be.
Well,
Unless you guys want to be stuck here for weeks.
I just think longingly at my fishing pole. Alright, fine. Let's.
You can
Where do
fish
we-
on a ship.
Where do we start?
Well, first we're going to the guards' quarters.
Okay.
We're gonna go get more information there, and they need to meet the rest of you.
All right.
So, are Dalton and Gabe coming with us, or what are they doing?
Dalton is actually going to stay behind and just enjoy his morning. As much as a murder mystery sounds intriguing to him, he doesn't really feel like putting his elderly bones at risk.
Okay. And
And-
Gabe?
As far as Gabe, he's just a merchant. That seems pretty prime target as far as travelers go.
So he's just gonna chill away.
Pretty much.
Got it.
Dalton, you watch over Gabe. How's that sound?
Yes, of course.
Do you have a way of contacting us in case something goes down?
No, not particularly. Do you have a way?
Is it there some kind of spell or magic that can, send like, I don't know, somehow contact people across longer distances?
If you happen to know of such a spell, that would be great.
Dalton. In case of emergency. And I reach into my bag and I pull out a single feather token.
Okay.
I
And
know how to use these.
he looks at it, and you see his eyes flash a greenish color, and he goes, I do now.
Wait, what?
Detect magic,
There you go.
Oh.
effectively. Okay. At which point he will gladly take that off your hands. I'm not going to have you roll for detect magic just because it's something that you currently use. It's you would know it if anyone did it. So,
All right, to the barracks or whatever we called it last time.
yeah, the guard. What was it? Guardhouse.
Guard office.
Guard office. So you head to the guard office, and Kenneth is there waiting. He's got the various paperwork and things you would need to sign. Basically making sure you're not going to just say you're going to help and run off.
No, of course, we need to leave the city. Why would we do that? But, I guess I introduced the party to him.
He is more enthusiastic to meet them, especially whenever he spies Garp, than he was to meet you originally.
I'm not gonna take offense to that.
Garp is smug.
Dark doesn't know a difference.
Garp is still smug.
Is he really smug or is he still pissed off that he got moved up?
Nah, he's smug.
All right, back to standard.
He's
Fair
got
enough.
food in his belly.
Garp tends to be rather smug. As a general rule, Garp tends to be smug. I have to allow that fact at the very least.
Garp is me. Garp's mood changes once he gets food in his belly. Especially when I'm angry. If I get food in my belly, we're okay.
Okay.
My wife is the same way.
So Kenneth takes a second, and he does realize the armor you're wearing and the sigil you are also wearing as a symbol of Bahamut. That is the god you praise, or praised, correct?
Yes.
At which point,
What?
that's the reason he is ecstatic, seeing as how Bahamut is a lawful good god. You're more than likely going to be of great aid to the situation.
By all appearances. Emphasis on the words appearances.
Technically, I was a cop. I was a paladin.
Technically, you were a cop.
Just
And emphasis on both the words technically and were.
Were. Hey, he don't know my story. He can't judge me.
No, he doesn't, but he sure is judging you.
Yeah, he's judging me right.
No, he's definitely wrong. It's in your favor, but it's definitely wrong.
So how would you introduce all of these individuals?
Well, we're back, and these are our friends. This is Garp. He is our heavy hitter, our big man in the front.
Hello.
And this is Adrestia. She is our healer of sorts.
Not of sorts, healer extraordinaire. Don't undersell her talents.
She
does
looks at
quite
you
a
like-
bit more than healing.
What else does she do?
What does she do?
Even Andy's like, what does she do?
Nothing.
She creates water and such to put out fire houses on fire. Cause she has other spells than heals.
Well, yeah, she heals, and she's an exceptional at general utility.
Why are you trying to take offense out of a sentence I said for no reason? Just anyway, moving on.
Because it's fun to fuck with you, Nathan.
I agree.
Moving forward.
Akela gives a very toothy grin.
So, do we know how long this individual was dead?
Which individual in question?
The one that I
most recent
paid,
one?
the one that my comrades found.
With the decomposition of the body, maybe happened earlier that evening. So maybe a day, maybe two. Unless, of course, magic's in play, in which case there's no telling.
At the very least,
Could we not resurrect them so that they can tell us who did this?
Do you have that kind of capital to just bring someone you don't know back?
it's not a cheap spell.
No. Could we commune with them?
Sure.
Uh,
With the way those spells work, they're not exactly this person did it kind of situation.
Got it.
well, actually, I would like for Akela to roll a spellcraft or a knowledge arcana check, whichever you think would be more relevant, to see if he can think of the spell that I, the player, know.
Sure. Roll me a knowledge arcana.
Okay? Knowledge arcana, and as of last check, I was very lucky. Luck does not trigger here, but 18, because I know Speak with Dead.
Speak with Dead would be sure. Speak with Dead would be a third level spell for most classes that can cast it. That being said, with an 18, you would definitely know that some people can cast a spell similar to that. You may not say Speak with Dead exactly, but you do know that spells like that exist.
So yeah, I'll comment and say I do recall my father has had a lot of people around him, and one of the things I've seen Boach do from time to time is he has cast a spell, and the dead have spoke to him.
Has he cast a spell?
As best as Akela knew,
Okay.
it may not have been actual spell casting, but that's what Akela thought.
Very well.
Akela allows. To be fair, it's been a few years. It may not have actually been active spell casting, but it looked like it to me at the time.
Very well.
Either way, were there any similarities between any of the dead bodies besides the fact that they were travelers? Like, I mean, like way of killing.
As far as we've seen, they're typically in an alleyway of some sort. No blood spray, as you said. Missing their face and eyes. So it's very much a serial killer or the same entity doing these.
Do we know the weapon?
murders. Obviously, the knife that's left behind every time.
Is it just a knife?
Do we have the? Is it the same kind of knife every time? Is there any distinct? I didn't really get a good look at the knife. What do you have other knives and they're all like distinct or unique in how they're made, or are they just knives?
At which point, instead of explaining all that, Kenneth does actually take you to a back portion of the guard office, as it were, the barracks, however you say it. And you do see that there are a couple of tables with tarps over them, obviously a body underneath it, all except for the one at the end, which is currently empty. ongoing investigations of several people, other incidences in the local area. But
Train murderer.
3 in particular.
Train.
Kenneth walks over to 3 of the tables in particular and removes the tarps from them. And just as he said, it's all pretty much the same. There's 2 men, 1 woman. Eyes are removed, face is gone. You see a distinct puncture wound around the chest area, middle. So obviously meant to stab the heart. And the knife that was inside is currently laying next to the various bodies.
This may be kind of a dark question, but there hasn't been any kind of, besides the whole face and eyes missing thing, there hasn't been anything else left at every crime scene or any sort, right? Or have we checked inside the bodies?
We haven't checked inside the bodies, but as far as we've seen, it's the same thing you ran into. Did you see anything extra at the crime scene?
I don't believe I did I?
No, you did not.
Hmm.
Do we know anything that would link the victims together? Or is this just randomized crime?
They're all travelers. None of them are from the city.
Okay.
So, just like Nathan has said, this is GM talking here. They're all travelers, so it's not like they knew exactly who they were. There's no formal identification on them. All that you really know is all personal effects that would have been identifiable for them, say a specific dagger they held or coin purse, what have you. None of those effects are on the bodies when they're found. They're just dressed in standard clothing, so dress or shirt, pants, rope belt. It's nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh, something else I meant to ask real quick. We actually do have a couple other compatriots in this city who aren't really the investigating type like we are, but they're with us as well. And they're staying at the Fair Maiden. Is because they're travelers and with everything going on, is there any possible way we could possibly get a couple of guards posted around there to watch for them? Since we're helping out?
We're kind of short, but I'll see what I can do.
Much appreciated. And I kind of describe both of them to him.
I said we use Gabe as bait. Faster.
Jesus, Gob.
Why? I mean, it could work.
And this is why you get races who hate you.
So I just realized I never took my second hex at level 4.
God.
This is why you have an entire tribe of kobolds terrified of you, because of the thoughts like that.
Alright, to be fair, that is something completely unrelated and different.
No, it isn't, God. It really isn't.
So
It really is, actually.
It's the same attitude.
Anyway.
So, Andy, you said you didn't take your second hex.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just grab whatever.
It would have been lifelink.
Would have been lifelink.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does lifelink hex do?
Lifelink allows me to create a bond between myself and another creature within 30 feet. If that creature is wounded for 5 or more, it is healed for 5 hit points, and I take 5 points of damage.
So only in increments, only if they take 5 or more damage at a time.
Correct.
Okay.
What if you
That's so
cast on
powerful.
somebody who already has 5 damage on them?
I think it's every hit, is it not?
At each round at the start of the shaman's turn, if the bonded creature is wounded for 5 or more hit
Okay.
points below its maximum points,
So
It
it's
is
not
healed.
upon hit, it's just at the beginning of a round.
at the beginning of the round, right?
But effectively, what that would allow Adrestia to do is, if you're slightly wounded, Adrestia can now cast a different spell instead of having to specifically focus on healing you.
It means addressing it as a tank battery.
Yep.
Yes, actually. Not a very good one, granted that it's only 5 health, but if you were to drop...
Yeah, better than nothing.
Well, here's the other thing. If you were to drop below 0 health...
Guess what? You have 5 health.
Yeah.
Without having to cast a single spell.
Mm-hmm. That being...
That's actually dope, yeah.
Adrestia now becomes a huge target. If anyone were to figure out how that works...
That's oof. Oofies.
Oh, and I can have 4 bonds active at one time.
What the fudge?
Yeah, so I can link with all of y'all.
But we have to just be that close to you for it to work.
100 feet.
What the?
Yeah.
Okay.
That being said, Adrestia has 44 health, if I'm not mistaken.
Does it automatically happen, or could you choose to have
I can cancel it as an immediate action.
So it will happen no matter what until you cancel it.
Correct.
Got it. So that could put you in a bad health situation.
Right.
At the same time, instead of having to heal 3 different people, 4 different people...
He's just having to heal himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy crap, but if you're linked to 4 people and you do it to all of us, it's 20 health you just lost it once.
Yes, but then I also get the opportunity to do my AoE spells to heal.
That's true. You'll get so much healing toward that achievement.
Yep.
Holy crap. You're gonna have that pre-level 6.
Yeah, depending on how slowly I want to level you guys, but
Right.
I don't think we've had anything in a long time.
Because I won't take enhanced cures until probably level 8.
What is enhanced cures?
Enhanced cures, when the shaman casts a cure spell, the maximum number of hit points healed is based on my level, not the limit imposed by the spell. So a cure light wounds at
So
level
if you
11,
do it, yeah, it's still plus
1d8 plus 11. Yep. So,
Aquila is capable of thinking of the proper spell. You guys have asked your questions.
That means that essentially he has absolutely, I think he has no use whatsoever for the spell mass heal. Unless he needs to affect more than one person in the party with heal.
So,
At a time.
how much money do we have? Let me look at my character sheet.
Honestly, I do want to ask the guard if he could take us to each location that the murders have happened.
At which point he pulls out a... because I don't have a map of the city, I'm just going to say that he pulls out a map of the city, marks the locations, and hands you the map.
Okay.
In addition...
Do we have some sort of badge or anything that indicates that we're working with you?
and with that, he quickly takes a paper, like you see him leave the room, back up towards the front. He gets a paper with his seal on it, writes a message, and hands it to you.
Just show this to any god that's asking?
Pretty much.
Much appreciated.
That being said, do you read what the paper says?
Is it intended for me?
Would you read it? Is my question.
It's sealed, you said, right?
No, it is a piece of paper stamped with his seal. So
Did he like fold it up or anything?
it's just rolled up. It's not wax sealed together. It's just a piece of paper unrolled.
As long as it is easy to read, then at the very least I would be nosy enough to read it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was gonna say if he rolled it up for like me not to read. So that's at least that's how I would feel about it.
It is something that you're. This is GM talking here. It's basically just a pseudo badge, and since Aquila would be nosy enough to read it, effectively what it says is the specifics of what you're allowed to do as far as, you know, snooping around places you shouldn't,
Because I'm assuming these are all still crime scenes.
to a degree. But it's not a badge to do whatever you want kind of thing.
Right.
It's not a badge that says, "Hey, do what they say because it's supposed to help in the investigation."
These guys are immune to the law.
No, absolutely, because would be absolutely absurd to hand anyone that type of power. But it will allow you to go to the various crime scenes. You do have the locations of them. So, what do you do now?
Let's head to all 4 locations.
The first location that you're going to check out is going to be much closer towards the now closed city gate, and it's tucked away along the border of the city.
Okay.
But as far as the location itself and how everything has been oriented, the rain has definitely washed away a lot of what you could have found, if anything, because it is still raining.
Right.
Is there anything you're looking for in particular?
Can I just make what was the check I made last time? Investigation or some
That would be perception.
perception, which I believe is a +10.
GM. I want to, while he's doing that, I want to look and see if anyone's watching us.
Just the various guards who are walking by, wondering what you're doing.
Not bad.
Okay. No one else suspicious looking at us, like,
No.
okay.
With a 20, you do find the specific spot where the body was placed, because again, obviously, none of the murders happened at the places the bodies were found. But you do find the spot. The grass there and the dirt has been disturbed. You do see that there's specific creases and areas. There is still a bit of blood left over, uh, probably from where the wound was just draining. Um, that being said, it doesn't tell you a lot of this situation. This must have been the first body to be found.
Really, what I'm upset I didn't think about earlier was why didn't we just have you sniff the dead body earlier, the one that was most recently killed, and just trace the scent?
It's not always that easy, especially whenever there's a corpse that's been rotting for a while.
From one night?
You don't understand how bad bodies can smell.
Also rain.
I guess that's true. Anyway, any of you guys find anything?
Because as I recall, I, as a player, did actually want to try and sniff around, but I couldn't really find
Alright.
anything.
At the time, with the roll that you had rolled, you didn't find anything.
Right. Now, if we want to revisit, maybe there's something else that I could find, but I doubt it. But maybe there's something.
But with a 20, I don't find anything else besides like where the body was.
You find where the body was just fine. There's just
a little bit of blood.
nothing to find. And when I say a little bit of blood, I mean it's blood that's kind of caked onto the city wall,
Right.
but there is no additional blood on the ground or anywhere nearby. It's all just been washed away or wiped away.
Alright, on to the next location.
Hold on. Before we do that, let me ask. You said there's guards nearby, right?
Yeah.
I want to go up to one of them and ask them if they know like where this particular person or this traveler was from, where were they heading, if they know anything.
They inform you without any identifying features. It's really hard to tell where they came from or why they were here.
Where did you
Might
come
as- might
from?
as
Where
have
did you
no
go?
face or anything.
True.
Face, no eyes. I mean, unless you can identify someone from just their hair when you've only met them one time.
Pretty sure I could identify Yukimoto by just his hair.
Shut the fuck up.
Yukimoto is not the standard. but
Alright, I guess we'll go to the second one location.
Okay. The second location that you head to is actually going to be towards the center of the city, which is the body you first stumbled upon when entering the city. That was roped off. The body itself was slumped up against a building.
And this was kill number 2?
This was kill number 3.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's just the way that you were looking at locations. Obviously, you're not going to go to the first murder, to the second when it's across town, to the
Okay,
it's in the center.
right. Okay, I just want to make sure. Can I make another investigation check?
Yeah, roll the perception.
Ah,
Okay.
I am exceptionally mediocre today.
Hey, it's better than
Better
roll.
than average roll 20, yeah.
To say like roll 20 usually fucks us, so accept the mediocre.
With this one, there is a significant more stainage, just because it's not on any dirt.
It was on like stone.
It was on the stone pathway, the
Mhm.
same kind of white bleached stone, as the walls or the several of the buildings.
I'll take the opportunity to use my perception if I could sniff and investigate and use my sense and my ability sense in my eyes to try see if there's anything I can detect.
Sure. Roll it.
Certain set of skills is going into perception. Whoa!
Okay. As far as with Nathan's roll, you look around, you're not really seeing anything, just it's really easy to see where the body was. given
Right,
that you
so,
haven't seen
but you did say that the blood is easier to see because it's on the stone path.
Mhm.
Is there, like, even if it's just small at this point, because I understand it's been raining and it's been a little bit since then, can I see, like, a direction it may have come from? Like a blood drop path of sorts?
Mm, no, not with the 21.
Okay.
That being said, with the
That
20.
being said, yeah, exactly.
Sorry, what was that,
Does
I was gonna ask, but is there any religious symbols nearby?
yeah, I was about to.
Brian?
The religious iconography.
The closest building that would be of religious purpose would actually be the Church of Hasper. Hansper.
And when we were at the last location, was there
There
a
was
church nearby?
there was
or-
not. It was near the
Gate.
city gate.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast detect magic on the bodies.
You would have to head back to the guards barracks to do that.
Oh, we've already left on. Never mind.
Is that something that you would?
I just know where the bodies were, is what I have found.
She would have cast detect magic on the bodies. Because she's intrigued, especially with the loss of eyes and the face. Maybe the murderer is trying to take their identities, or they are using the components for a spell. She would have been mostly curious as to whether or not it seemed the body's souls were still intact.
As far as souls go, you would know that the souls wouldn't stay in the bodies, so that'd be very difficult to find out.
So if so, would I know if animate lesser dead would work on him?
Animate Lesser Dead would work on those bodies. You're fairly certain.
Okay, got it.
That being said, as far as spells currently on the bodies, there were none.
Okay. So now, well, what did, aside from the bodies and these people being travelers, did they have anything else in common?
What exactly are you?
Um, do we know if they hailed from a certain place? Were they going to a certain place? Were there any
I
other
don't
mark?
think we know who any of these people were.
That's the problem with their face gone, eyes gone. Is there's no discernible feature where like
can
what
identify
region
'em.
they would come from.
So the MO is the same. They're missing their faces, they're missing their eyes, and they have the same wound in the neck,
Uh, Chest,
chest.
specifically hovering around where the heart should be.
Could I possibly roll a knowledge religion to think of anything that would kind of represent any out of the churches that I saw that first day? Would any of them kind of match the kind of like if it was a ritual, like it
Uh,
would seem in line that one of the practitioners would do?
Go ahead and roll me knowledge religion, but first,
Mm-hmm.
let's move on to Akila's perception check.
Okay, I'll
Jordan
go ahead and roll it though.
has been gracious enough to wait and listen to all these questions. That being said, with a 29, you can definitely sniff the air. You're definitely picking up some kind of scent. It's incredibly faint, but it heads around the building where the body was placed.
Okay,
Shit.
I'll follow it.
Okay.
And I'll gesture uh, to Nathan for him to follow me along, to follow along with me.
Yeah, I forgot to put the plus.
All right.
And I just follow my nose and see where it takes me.
Follow your nose wherever it goes.
That's what I'm doing.
So, as you're following, I need to look up something real quick. There it is. I haven't looked at this thing in forever. Okay. And as you're heading down this path, the trail itself thins out pretty quickly. However, Nathan, I'm going to need you to make a perception check.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay. You're realizing it's getting pretty dark around you, specifically you, as your ring is lighting up.
What color? Sorry. Keep not
Uh,
realizing I'm muted.
It's all right. That's why I wasn't just continuing on with my explanation. The color itself is going to be What colors have I used so far? Have you been keeping track?
We have like a dark blue for lamb chop. It was a grayish for poach, like a whitish gray.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What color were the skeletons?
black? No, I don't remember what the skeletons were.
Okay.
Did
As
you
far
see your ring whenever the skeletons were?
Can I roll? I don't remember, but I know Nathan would.
okay.
So how do I? What would I roll for that to see if he would remember? I guess.
Just because you have run into them and you probably would have noticed and looked. Granted, because your character is sensitive to that kind of situation, and your ring does visually give off a lessening of the light level around you, which doesn't necessarily affect you at all because it's only within your space. Um, you would notice that the color itself for skeletons is a pure white,
Okay.
and additionally, the color for zombies is purple.
Got it. Okay.
And what color is it now?
It's fuchsia.
Fuchsia.
Fuchsia. It's like
Fuchsia for
It's
murder.
like a lighter purple, almost a pink.
Yeah, that would be accurate.
Does the color normally associate with type of undead? Like where, like if zombies are purple, something close to purple would be kind of close to a zombie.
No, you
Okay.
you have not seen anything of that sort.
Got
That
it.
being said, go ahead and roll me knowledge religion.
What is my religion? Even better.
That's me in the corner. That's me in the spot.
Heck
My
yeah.
losing my religion.
Okay.
28.
And I don't know if I could do it.
With a
It's
20.
it's been a little while since I've heard that song. Sorry, guys. Great roll, Daniel. Just great roll.
Earl
I love
20's being very gracious today.
I love it. I'm very happy to see it. It's given me some hope and some confidence. Those are dangerous things.
So,
Hence the loud knock on wood I just did.
Yeah, a very fair one.
with a 28, you do recall that you have seen this color before.
Ooh.
Da da da.
What is it for?
It was when you were a lot younger, and the whole reason why you recall this particular memory is because it was one of the few times your father actually treated you as a proper son.
Okay.
And the creature you were hunting at that time was something called a pelgus. Pelgus, rather.
And if my ring is glowing, it's within like.
It was
Draw that again.
60 feet.
60 feet, yeah. And we're just rolling. We're just like in the alleyway or some shit.
Yep.
Aquila, come here.
I duck down and I stop what I'm doing and
I open my palm and I show him the ring.
My eyes widen and my ears pin back and my mouth pulls back into kind of an involuntary snarl.
Okay.
And then I close my palm back and I go, "There's a pelgus nearby."
Oh, what?
Oh, what? Wait, can you say this loud enough for everybody?
Well, no, me and Aquila have kind of gone off on our own. I thought.
I left and gestured for you to follow me. That does not preclude the party at large from following us.
That's true. So it depends if they would have followed, I guess. I'm sure they would have.
Most likely.
So what do I know about pelguses?
They're typically they are intelligent undead, and they follow the god Urgathoa.
Which there is a church of Urgathoa here, or no?
Not that you've seen.
Not that I've seen. Okay.
Have
And
we have we seen any churches of Urgathoa on our travels recently?
no,
Okay. Like, I don't think those are very public.
What kind of undead are they? Like,
Well,
corporeal, incorporeal?
corporeal.
I guess I've seen one, so I would know what they look like.
by the way, Ryan,
Yeah.
I totally heard this whenever he was describing. You remember this sound? You remember this glow from whenever you were a child. You remember a specific undead associated with it.
Nature real
I
quick,
heard-
so I know what they look like,
I heard that jingle.
so I can give my own description. Or is this a thing you created?
This is a thing I've created.
I'm not finding shit. No wonder.
Yep.
Just can you describe how it looks a little bit?
I appreciate that.
I know you do. That's why I brought it up to you.
So, as far as the look of a Pelgus, they're not necessarily too different from people. Like all the different iterations of a person you can see, there are different iterations of a Pelgus.
Mm-hmm.
What makes them unique is the fact that they're intelligent undead. They still require to eat, however, they don't have to sleep or breathe. They have a DR only overcome by good.
All right.
Outside of that, they're, again, typically followers of Urgathoa. And it's more of a stepping stone to something greater. You haven't seen that something greater because your family's been pretty good at taking them out anytime that they would have shown up.
Got it. Okay. So, the alleyway we're in, I'm assuming 60 feet doesn't go past one building in either direction.
Not particularly. In addition, the glow from your ring has ceased.
Shit. I start moving, just quickly trying to move and see it in multiple directions, see if I can get the glow back. And if I get the glow back, I'm gonna continue heading in that direction.
And you're running off on your own?
I'm walking quickly, kind of gesturing to the party like they can follow me if they want, but I like, shit, lost the tracker.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. We need to stay on the scent.
Garp's intrigued. He'll follow.
Highs or low?
For me,
Yep. You
low.
specific. Okay. You do find it again, and it quickly just disappears as quickly as you had found it.
Good. I will continue to move the same direction.
Okay. At which point,
I will look 60 feet ahead in that direction to see if I can see anything. 'Cause I'm sure I'm walking through town at this point.
you are walking through town, and you're heading back towards the docks, closer towards the Salty Dog. And about the time where you're just on the other side of the docks, you don't see it anymore. It seems to have eluded you.
Like it, almost like it went out into the sea.
Yeah.
And I don't see any ships, obviously, on the horizon.
No ships have been allowed to leave.
It's undead. It doesn't have to breathe. It just went into the water.
And while I was walking, I didn't see anything because it's 60 feet. You can see 60 feet ahead of you.
100%. That being said, there are still people out and about, so it's
Right.
hard to discern. Granted, again, they do look like people. One thing I did forget to mention is they do have almost albino skin color. that is one trait that is solid across the board.
Do I see anyone nearby at the docks?
You see plenty of people upset that they take their ship for sale. You see the typical suspects at the Salty Dog.
Someone near the edge, I just go, you didn't happen to see anyone jump into the water, did you?
Can't say I did, son.
Much appreciated, and I flip a silver coin.
At which point they're baffled at the fact, but they pocket it anyways.
I kind of go back to the party a little bit because I'm sure they're a distance behind me since I was tracking.
Yeah, I mean, I actually kept following the scent trail
Okay.
that I had.
Oh, which was different than where I went?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, so we'll let you do your thing.
So you continued on your scent trail as it thins out, and it actually heads over towards a what would be the equivalent of a manhole cover.
Okay.
Around that spot, it just dies down entirely, just because there are too many different scents around this particular crossroads.
Yeah. All right.
So who followed my trail, I guess, would be a better...
I believe Garp was running off to follow you. I don't know where Adrestia went.
I'm sticking with everybody else.
Okay, so the larger party headed towards the docks. Aquila was by himself.
Sounds like it.
You guys wouldn't happen to think there's tunnels of sorts under the city, would you?
Oh, I can almost guarantee it.
Well, you'd
so-
be somewhere else at the moment, wouldn't you, Akela?
What did you just say? Sorry.
You'd be somewhere else since you followed your own trail.
Well, not to the. He was gonna come back to us, but
Well,
he was.
no, they followed me.
Yeah,
Oh.
we followed him, so you were on your own.
Oh, I'm literally on my own right now.
Yes.
Oh,
But out of character, yes, I think so.
gotcha.
So, who asked the question of, you think there's something under the city?
I did. That was Nathan.
Okay. And you went fishing with Garp yesterday, right?
No, it
No,
was
Garp was by himself. No, Akela went with Garp, I think.
Akela. But we did. I do tell him about the grates that we saw.
Okay.
The water, like, because that was like grates for under city water passage, the waterway.
It's a dam! Damn. There's a grate! Great.
I think we need to go by and see Captain Kenneth again. See if there's a way we can get into... See if he knows anything about some underground tunnels of sorts.
Okay. Are you going to go and retrieve Aquila, or?
I look past the group and I go, where'd Aquila go?
I thought he was right behind us.
Shit.
So once I get to the conclusion of the trail, I actually, cut back and start following back to
Yeah,
where I was and start retracing my steps until I can find the party at large.
we head back to the location of the third murder to see if he followed back as well.
You meet up at about the same spot where the body was last seen.
Where'd you go?
Followed the trail before I lost it again. Didn't wanna
What
take
trail?
The scent trail.
Oh, you gotta let me know about these things. I don't have to know
did.
you do.
I did. You just decided to go off chasing your little blippy signal.
Which, speaking of, I think there's tunnels under the city.
Yeah, sewers to be precise.
Oh boy.
Follow me.
Follow you.
Yeah, let me show you what the scent trail led to. And I
Okay.
take him to the manhole cover.
Okay. This is like you would see modern times, just solid chunk of metal.
I ask what the distance is, or I also count about how many blocks it is from the murder scene to the manhole cover,
Mm, blocks?
Would
or
miles be a better question?
relative distance.
Maybe feet, even? If we're that lucky.
Because feet to blocks is 264 feet to a single city block.
In a modern major city, yes, but in older cities, not so much.
True. However, um, I'd say it's about 200 feet away from the crime scene. The smell
Okay.
really thinned out, so that's about as far as you could get.
Okay. So we'll also need to ask. What we'll need to do is we'll need to ask if there's any other areas surrounding that may have also had this
Manhole cover?
manhole covers. See if that's present in other areas, and if it is,
Actually, I'm sure we can get a map of manhole covers from Kenneth, and we can just compare the two.
that's what I was getting at, if not so directly.
I was just suggesting we go back there anyway, so onward it is, I guess.
Onward and upward.
Back to the guard office.
Okay.
Do we want to check the third scene first, or
That technically was the third scene. We skipped the second scene.
the second scene? Or do we want to just go right back to the...
Well, I figured we'd get the manhole cover thing and then go to that location.
Okay.
Goodness.
Alright, sounds good. We'll do that. I see the benefit.
Then we can go back to that location and look for the manhole cover that's on the map, kind of thing. All right.
Okay. So you're heading back to Kenneth?
Yes.
I feel like the DM was not expecting us to do this.
No, I got a message in Discord, so I stopped for a second to read what it was. I don't expect you guys to do anything, to be honest.
I don't know whether to be hurt.
Harsh?
I'm
I
saying,
mean, I'm not really hurt, but hurt?
like
it's
a tiny bit hurt.
It's more of the I've got a plan for the day, and most of the time I've led the story to go in a specific way, and you guys take the bait. So that's cool. Otherwise, I'm not like, oh, hey, you're gonna run into this specific person and see this specific thing, because that's not fun to
Right.
railroad you guys like that. Any case, you head into the guard barracks, and Kenneth is still there. He is currently trying to look over the current guard duties to find additional aid to watch the Fair Maiden Tavern.
Kenneth, we seem to have possibly found a lead, and we were wondering if you had a map of all the manhole covers in the city.
There's only 3 in the city.
Could you circle those on the same map for us?
And he does so. There's one on the northeast part of town, which was the manhole Aquila found. There's one towards the southern portion of town, which is closer towards the Salty Dog. And then there is one on the west part of town, which leads to housing district.
And Kenneth, while you're at it, could you please be a dear and mark with an X the locations where the bodies were found?
I think we already had those marked.
You did on a separate on a separate map. That being said, just go ahead and combine the two.
Transference. Yeah.
Yeah. At which point you see that there's no real rhyme or reason for manhole covers versus where the murders happen.
There's not like a manhole cover close to every murder.
No. For instance, the one near the gate is not near any manhole cover. The closest one would be 600 feet away for the northeast manhole cover.
I
Are there any other
mean, that's
entrances
not
or exits
far.
into this? Are there any other entrances or exits into the sewers or underground tunnels? I don't know what's all down there yet. We're probably gonna go check that out.
And while it's not far, Andy, it's more of the imagine being inconspicuous, carrying a body through town for 600 feet. Someone's definitely going to notice.
That's a good point.
But I asked him if there are any other entrances or exits into the sewers or whatever's underground.
And he informs you that there are the additional grates near the docks.
What about near the gate? Anything over there?
He shakes his head. You wouldn't know how you would get there from near the gate.
Much appreciated.
But you said you found a lead?
There was a scent that led to a manhole cover, and at the same time, I also got a lead that ran all the way out to the docks, which apparently there are grates, like you just mentioned, at the docks that lead to the same passage. So there's just the combination of those two pieces of information seem to lead to the somewhere in the sewers.
And at this moment, another guard is going to come in and inform Kenneth that his wife is looking for him. So Kenneth will excuse himself.
I say absolutely. I hope everything's all right.
As does he. That being said, he does excuse himself from the conversation. It is pertinent, but at the same time, for him, family would come first.
Of course. And we'll go ahead and just take the time to go ahead and go to murder scene number 2.
Okay. Murder scene number 2 is going to be closer towards the northwest side of town. If you were to look at the distance between it and the west side manhole cover,
Mm-hmm.
maybe about 650, 700 feet away. Or at least where the body was found, because at this point you're well aware that the bodies are not murdered in these locations. They're just left.
Right. So, go ahead and do my normal investigation.
Wow.
I will also roll a perception check just to see if I can find anything as well.
With this one, it being the third,
This is the
Right.
second murder, right?
the second murder, the third location you've checked.
Correct.
So, it's a lot like the first. You don't find any additional information here, even with a 28. You find
Okay.
the various bloodstains, which apparently at this particular site, being closer to a housing district, people have tried to wipe away.
Okay. So evidence has already been tampered with. Gotcha. Well, I don't think we're gonna find much at this one, gents.
I think we should probably just go check inside the sewers at this point.
I agree. You wanna I think we just go down the manhole cover that Aquila led us to and start there. Everyone grab your nose plugs, gents. And lady.
Trying to see if I have a spell for that.
Nose. Oh, here it is. Nose plug. Or at least try to map out the
Do I
passageway.
remember what? Do I recall what it was that my father had used for me to kind of regain my sense and my scent and my sense of self after I basically got pepper sprayed?
No, you do not.
Okay.
I'm gonna go into the shopping district real quick and buy some nose plugs.
knowledge nature to see if I can come up with anything that would allow me to
You know what?
not have my nose basically get me sickened while I'm down there.
I'm not gonna plug up my nose just in case there's something fouler down there than the normal stench. Why get rid of one of your senses?
Is it 24?
Killa, I can understand because heightened sense of
Too
smell.
sensitive. Too sensitive.
So, uh, as far as things to plug your nose with, uh, you're not really finding those. You could probably tear apart some cloth, and that would work out just
Yeah,
fine.
find like a clothespin or something like that.
I mean, you could definitely make one pretty easily. That being said, uh, again, you're pretty aware that if you are dealing with Pelgus, as you recall, they do have resistances towards physical damage, only overcome by good. So is that not something that you would be worried about, or
Oh, I definitely let the party know that.
okay.
I mean,
Fine.
I rule the blah everything I know about them.
Okay.
Already.
Okay. That is not something that I was aware that I was aware. So I'm immediately concerned about that, and I need to find a way to get my strikes to become good aligned. Because right now I don't even have my magic yet.
Okay. So what is the party doing right now?
I am wanting to just go into this
My
building.
knowledge nature check, that check that I rolled in roll 20 is to find or think of or come up with a way to be able to put something over my nose that will prevent me from becoming sickened whenever I go down into the sewers.
Yeah, those dogs are loud.
Let's see. Uh, you could probably buy a mask to cover your face for a gold piece, two maybe, which would definitely help with the smell issue.
Okay. I'll definitely do that, and then I will be shopping for a way to get my reps and my physical strikes to become good aligned.
I don't know if you. I don't know if you'd be able to do that. Would you?
Uh, it would be a spell. So we would need to go see cleric, most likely, or go see a church, a good church that would allow us or cast for us the spell align weapon.
Hmm. Okay, we definitely. You know what? I would like to get before we go down the sewers.
Hmm.
Um, either some torches or a lamp.
Um, I do believe I have a spell for that.
Oh, if you have a spell for that, would be better.
Um, yeah, let me spend some time moving some spells around, and yeah. So I'm gonna swap out um I'm gonna swap out create water with light.
Okay.
Interesting.
Takes you a handful of minutes, but you'd be able to do that.
Okay, so we got
Uh,
that.
as far as the aligning of your wraps or strikes, it is only the spell or enchanting your uh, wraps to be good aligned, which would cost quite a bit of.
8,000
Yeah.
to be precise.
We don't
Because
have that much.
No, no, we don't.
Not even close.
No, but if we, I think uh, a group investment in a communal aligned weapons scroll might be a good idea here.
Uh, mm,
I'm not exactly sure if that would be cheaper than just each of us buying our own individual aligned weapon scroll, but
Just getting the oils.
well, the oils don't align good, do they? As far as I know, it's only the scroll.
I thought there were oils that you could do that too as well.
There's a couple of oils that'll give you special effects like
Magic weapon
silver.
stuff like that, but
There's silver.
You're referring to
Green.
Blanches. And as far as Blanche goes, that is only for singular strike,
okay.
So you'd have to reapply and reapply and reapply.
which is piece to apply.
nope. I say we just go. I know it's gonna be risky.
I
I'm
think we
down.
just, I think we really need the alignment weapons.
I don't think we can afford it.
Yeah, we don't. Not even collectively. I don't think we can afford it.
Well, how much would a scroll of aligned weapon be?
Alternatively, you could go with a potion of line weapon.
A potion of aligned weapon? That's an option.
Yeah, I was mistaken because potions come in two versions: the type you drink and oils. And as far as a oil of a line weapon, that does exist. I was mistaken. Sorry, Daniel.
Thank you.
Uh,
I was pretty sure.
yeah.
Like we've had them in my campaign.
Uh, in any case, that will cost 300 gold pieces to get a potion of a line weapon.
That's not too bad.
That's assuming we can find them.
And that lasts for how long?
This would be 3 minutes.
Yeah, check. Let's check down for a few of those.
And how much are they again? Sorry.
300.
That's
Uh,
very doable.
300 for a potion, for a scroll of a line weapon. A scroll of a line weapon is going to cost you 150 gold pieces or 375 for a line weapon communal.
Which the computer would work on all of us.
Yep, but it would take away more minutes. The regular aligned weapon is just a minute per level. The aligned weapon communal divides the duration in 1 minute increments between all the number of touched weapons. So, with 4 of us, realistically speaking,
But only 3 of us are, realistically speaking, only going to be using weapons.
yeah, so 3 of us beyond that. So the 3 of us all having it would be, one of us would have 4 minutes, 2 of us would have 3 minutes.
That's still not bad.
That's not bad, and that's the cost of 1 potion. However, we have to make that use magic device check.
Who has used magic device?
I do.
I do.
I think I do. Let me check.
I do.
I'm the only one that does not, apparently.
I do believe in fairies. I do. I do.
Wait,
I haven't gotten the big boost yet. It's
Uh,
coming. Right now, I'm at a +9.
the benefit to protecting the DC for a line weapon communal would be 25.
Oh,
Whoa.
whew. I don't have that reliably yet.
Nope.
Yeah. You'd have to roll an 18.
I had to roll a 20.
I have to roll a.
I say everyone, I'm going to grab 2 oils for myself.
The oils.
How much would be what would
Oils.
the DC be for a single scroll of a line
How-
for a scroll of a line weapon alone?
23.
Also, how do oils work for ranged weapons with ammo?
You can align 50 pieces of ammo. With,
Okay, so you're not aligning the weapon; you're just aligning the ammunition.
Yep.
All
That's
right,
like, that works.
I'll buy a potion. It's the simplest thing that we have right now.
Wait, how long do the oils last?
3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Just the oils last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I'm just buying 2 oils of good aligned oil.
I will only buy one.
And that's 300.
For the oil
Oil.
line weapon. Just a second. It would in fact be 300 market value.
Can we talk him down since we're buying quite a few of them?
That being said, where are you going to purchase the
Oh,
potion?
that's
Yeah, we
true.
have to find it first.
We look around. Do
We
we
have
find
to-
a shop that has potions and shit?
As far as Aquila recalls, there was only a single
that.
stall.
I remember a guy. Come on, guys.
We can always check a church.
Let me show you my guy.
I followed Aquila.
I lead them to a most singular stall.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll try there first. I say if worse goes worse, we check churches. You never know.
It is still raining, by the way, and there is the singular stall. It is towards the what would be map-wise northeast portion of town, since the water would be towards the north, gate would be towards the south. Sorry, thinking of world map wise. So it would be closer towards the water. We'll just go with that for now, since I've ruined all of the thoughts in my head by creating a world map.
Don't ruin the thoughts in your head.
In any case,
I'm sorry, what was that? Yes, you asked me to. Uh-huh. Hey, could you get me a beverage? Get me the new beer.
So you get to the stall, and you do see that the attendant is still there. He's less than enthused looking dwarf sitting at the stall. You see several receptacles holding various scrolls. He's got potions on the back wall. It's maybe a stall 10 feet by 20 feet. Correction, 10 feet by 10 feet. It's not a particularly large building.
Thank you.
So,
Okay,
I'm waiting for Aquila to do the talking since he knows the guy.
So, as we arrive, and so I go, hello?
what can I do you for?
We need to get some potions, my friend.
All right. What can
More specifically, some oils.
he
I don't-
looks right and looks left, and he's
Is
with.
this the guy I remember?
This is not the guy you remember. This is not the magic item shop. This is
Oh.
the stall you have found.
Oh, whoops. For some reason, I was thinking this was the magic item shop. I am dumb.
Yeah. I informed you that this stall existed, which is why Aquila would remember it. However, you never actually talked to the salesperson.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry. I got those two mixed up in my head. My apologies.
It's all right.
'Cause I was thinking it was a magic store and that the owner was extremely ebullient and friendly. Because the magic store owner is very ebullient and friendly.
This is
But
not
it's a
Colin.
magic store.
This is not Colin.
No, it is not. And I feel a fool.
Are we going to the magic store? Is that where we meant to go?
I don't think so, but that's a very big.
Is that where the potions would be?
So, to reiterate, it has been some weeks since you entered this town. player-wise, the first thing that Aquila wanted to do was to find a magic shop or various things, and I informed him of the several of the buildings that existed. Him that there was a stall that had wands, scrolls, potions, and then there was an additional magic shop where you would sell things like wondrous items, things of that nature.
And I never ended up going to the stall. I went to the magic shop store.
Yep.
So no, we'll go to the stall and I will think to myself, and I will start this interaction over if I can. And go, hello, stall keeper. We are here looking for some oils of a line weapon, specifically a line to good. Do you have any of those in stock, or could you make some of those?
Finally, this conversation's heading in the right direction. Just walking up here and saying, I'd like some potions. How does that help? Give me just a moment. As he heads to the stall and comes back and informs you that he only has 2 potions worth of oil for a line weapon, but only one of them is good.
What's the other one? Just out of curiosity.
Chaos. Or chaotic, rather.
Huh.
Unfortunately, that doesn't really do us a whole lot of help. Not that we're in any way ungrateful for the one that we can get, but
Well, then, does he have any scrolls?
As he looks through several of the receptacles and let's see. Where was that one? I do have 4 scrolls of a line weapon. Let's read them. 2 of them are aligned to good.
So we got 1 potion and 2 scrolls, effectively.
those scrolls are going to be tough to manage.
Why?
That use magic device check isn't low.
On the mass one,
For
23 on one. It's 23 for the other one.
I mean, better than not have it. How much are the scrolls?
dwarf strokes his beard,
Strokes beer.
thinks on it for a second. Why are you needing so many scrolls of the line good?
We're hunting something that we think is behind the lockdown.
Well, the guards are behind the lockdown, obviously. The ones who locked down the city.
Allow me to rephrase, my friend. We're hunting down the things that the guards are trying to catch.
Oh, okay. Alright. So, you specifically need a line good for this thing.
Specifically, yes.
Okay. Tell you what. Normally, the potion would be about 250 gold pieces. Sell it to you for, let's say, 175.
Mm-hmm.
As for the scrolls, they'd typically be about 100 gold pieces. I'll sell it to you for an additional 75. So altogether, that'll be a total of
325.
325 gold. Wow, you're pretty sharp on that.
Thanks.
Gold platinum.
75 each. Sure, I
Well,
guess.
the potion was 175, wasn't it?
Potion was 175.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll chip it for. I'll chip it 100.
I can do
It's
that.
really just the three of us. I think,
Yeah, I'll do 100 as well.
or
So-
I'll
I
do
need
100.
the potion though, because I can't do use medic device.
I'll do 125 then. And Jordan, you get the last 100.
sure.
Okay.
So I need the potion, and y'all get a scroll each.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hunt this thing today. I don't feel comfortable trying that check.
Do you make the potions, or do you just sell them?
I can make them.
Any chance by tomorrow you could have a few more of these made?
Take me a couple hours, but maybe.
Well, how about we make a different kind of deal?
If we paid you in advance for these potions, could we come back tomorrow and possibly get about 3 more?
3 more.
3 more. Yeah. I'm even like 3 more.
That's tall order for tomorrow.
It's too. I apologize. I don't make potions myself. I don't really know the time frame. Would 2 more be more? I guess possible.
2 more's reasonable, but I'm gonna have to close down the stall for the rest of the day to do it.
Would paying you in advance make it worth your while?
It'd be helpful. That being said, since this is gonna be a rush order, that's gonna change the prices.
I understand.
I say we just go with the potion and 2 scrolls.
I really don't want to try and use the scroll.
We're not even going today anyway, apparently, since Dakota and what they feel like
Well,
we're going today.
Well, here's the thing. You have to understand that is a DC 23 check
Okay.
for one person. Right now, for me, because I've already spent my mana mini skills on the words, I can use them. Because I've already used my special skills on perception, I cannot move it to use magic device at this point. So I'm rolling with a +9. And
Okay.
if I fail that check, that's a lot of money to lose.
100 gold.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of money to burn, and it means that we don't. It means that I don't have the aligned weapon for that fight. I really want to get at least to use the special set of skills, because right now I have to roll a 14. If we wait until I get the special set of skills back, at the very least, that's 10.
I mean, I was down to go. I only have a +6.
It's just my opinion, man. We don't
Yeah.
have to. We don't have to go with what I want.
I mean, I don't think we need more potions then.
How's Drustia feel about all this?
I mean, she has a say.
I mean, none of this is going to be applying on to her, so she's just kind of looking at all the scrolls and, you know, judging some.
Here's my opinion on it. What if there's going to be more than one fight?
Well, it's a good thing I have a lot of healing scrolls, don't it?
Well, my point is, these things only last for a few minutes.
True.
And I would still want to buy the scroll anyway, just because. Okay, cool. I've got a blanch, or I've got a potion, or I've got an oil of a line good. That's going to be helpful for a temporary time, for a temporary amount of time.
Then that's completely up to y'all, because 1, she won't use it, and 2, her check is not high enough to use the scroll effectively.
Like, for real, we don't know. Really don't know what we're going to be running into down there.
True. If anything.
If anything.
I mean, alright.
I think at least 2 more gives us a little bit to work with.
Okay.
So how much are you asking for to shut down your shop, make 2 potions, and have them ready by tomorrow morning?
That'll change the price of potions to 200 gold apiece. It's really the cheapest I can do it.
So 400 gold.
We'll still buy all this here.
Yeah, I've already taken the money out of for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll do an extra 400 gold for 2 more. I'll even just do half of it myself if I have to.
I'll
put
do
in
the other
100.
half. I'll put it
No, I'll
100.
put in 100.
Okay.
The two
So.
of us will share that with you.
Okay, so altogether that comes up to 725 gold. You're dropping on all this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and with that, he
And we're getting receipts.
Before we leave, Italy, I'm just gonna ask him like, what other potions you have on sale while we're here?
that all depends on what you're looking for. I don't want to start listing off 50 different potions, all for you to just go. Nah,
Mm,
What do you think would be useful if we were hunting something undead?
I was gonna say like anything like any buff potions like bold strength or
Enlarged person?
a large person. Well, not a large person in a sewer. That smells
Yeah,
disaster.
enlarged person in a sewer.
That smells disaster.
It spells a beatdown.
sorry, you're going to be fighting in the sewer.
Yeah. We think we will be anyway.
I wouldn't try enlarging yourself down there. The pathways
Yeah.
are entirely too narrow for that.
Fair. Anything you could suggest that might be helpful down there, Tubus?
Uh, from my stock here, outside of the aligned weapon, maybe some healing or
You've got a good bit of healing.
I was just looking for something like bull strength. Yeah.
Bark
See if they
skin?
maybe. That wouldn't be bad or still, yeah. Does Bart skin apply to armor?
Natural armor.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But actually, I don't want bark skin.
would either of your characters actually know any of these spells actually existing?
I have an amulet of natural armor.
I mean, maybe
And I'm
I
pretty
would.
sure I would.
Paladins did have like spells.
Yes, but Barkskin specifically is not on the Paladin spell
No,
list.
maybe not bark skin, but like, or for that matter, I don't know about bull strength.
He's looking for some kind of potion that
Okay,
might make
how
him
about-
a little stronger temporarily.
How about this? I will roll. Let's see here. Where's my? Let me grab my sheet. What do I have? Do I have anything? This is the wrong character. I wonder why I don't have anything. Whoops. I had two. I still have the other one in my bag, so I grabbed both of them out all the time. I do have a spellcrafting, and I can roll that to see if I would know anything. You want me to, real quick?
Sure.
Okay. D20, not do 20, D20. One do 20. Oh, there it is. There's roll 20.
Yeah, sorry to say, you're having a hard time remembering those spells.
I need spell potion make me big boy. Do you have any big boy potion?
Again, I sincerely doubt that's what you want if you're fighting in the sewer.
Strongman potion.
Strongman potion.
There we go. Sorry, Brookarb. Sometimes he struggles with words.
I'm gonna punch you for that later.
It's the drink that does it.
I could. He walks back off to his shelf of potions and looks at the various ones he has. He comes back and he only has one potion of bull strength.
Ooh. This make me strong man?
This will make you strong, man, but only for, I'd say, maybe 3 minutes.
How much?
175.
Deal.
Make it 2.
He only has one.
One.
Only. Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Denied.
Am I talking to myself here?
Sometimes.
No, I heard you.
Clearly
He's
on it.
just- he gets his senses all mixed up every now and then. You know how dogs have really good senses of smell.
Clearly, I just
Crusher, thank you
need-
so much for the
clearly I
follow.
just need to
and Twitch. The support is greatly appreciated, and welcome to the Bearded Brotherhood. And thank you for supporting and joining us here on the stream as we continue forward with our D&D session of Legacy of the Yenth. Hope you are enjoying yourself, and thank you again.
Potion of Intelligence. Specifically, the only one I know of is Fox's Cunning. But I'm sorry to say...
Yeah. Even I don't think I have any spells like that.
I am fresh. I guess I'm not fresh out. I do have one.
How much?
175, same as the others.
Done.
Again, it'll only last for about 3 minutes or so.
I'll make them count.
You can count to 3.
But if that's all you're buying, I'm gonna need to close down to get you those other potions.
I think that's all we need. Thank you.
For that, you haven't really spoken up, young lady. Anything you're looking for?
No, it seems as though most of the stuff that you offer that can be used by myself, I am actually able to create those. But you do have some magnificent items here in your shop, and should I need to procure any of them, I will definitely come and speak with you.
Well, thank you very much for your kind words. But I'm afraid I'm gonna have to close down to make those potions. As he begins to shut down his shop, pulls down the small flap, securing it tightly as you see some smoke start to billow out the top of this stall.
You guys wanna check out the magic shop while we're here? I know. Trust me.
Don't know about that one. I don't have a whole lot of...
Actually, while y'all are doing this, Adrestia is actually going to recommune with Lamb Chop, and she is going to swap out Animate Lesser Dead for oh, where did it go? Bull Strength.
Okay.
You have bull strength?
Yeah, it's a level 2 spell.
Oh.
I also have you got Bull Strength, Bear's Endurance, Eagle Eye.
Yeah.
I do not have Fox.
Fox's Cunning?
I do not. Nope.
Sure enough. No, you don't. Interesting. Oh well.
I know, right? Yeah, I can do Charisma, Strength, Constitution. I think that's it. Nope, I get Owls. I get Wisdom.
Okay. So, with that, what are you guys doing with the rest of your day? It's
Well, since
roughly
we're not going in today.
No.
The rest of the day, I figured that we could do some patrolling around the dock area and see if anything turns up again. Just to, on the off chance.
I'm gonna find a place near that manhole cover. And just kind of sit and watch and see if my ring turns color.
which manhole cover?
The one that Jordan sets the set and light up to.
Okay, so the one on the
Near murder number 1? No,
3.
3.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what. Garp
I'll
would
be there
do.
most of the day trying to see if I see anything come out or go in.
All right. So you find a nice spot, have a seat.
Have a seat. Chris Hansen, have a seat over here.
Okay.
Why don't you have a seat? Just take a seat.
What are the rest of you gonna do?
See, Garp will. By the way, there's a question I've been wanting to ask you. I was going to ask you last session when I did the whole church thing.
Mhm.
Back in the beginning of the campaign, I sent off a letter. How
Mhm.
long did we say that would take?
About 2 months.
And how long have we been traveling around for?
You've been traveling around for maybe about a month
Okay, so
with change since you sent off that letter.
what was that?
Month and change since
Month
you.
and change, so not quite there yet. Okay.
No.
Okay, I was just curious. It's like, I haven't. Let's see. What would I want to do? Oh yeah. Um, I did do that religion check earlier. Does any of these churches maybe kind of like ring a bell with something like undead that are
Uh,
here besides the one, like anything else, maybe like ritualistic?
no.
No.
None that you think of. The closest one does not have any ritualistic um, tendencies towards that.
Hmm.
However, the goddess does. It is the goddess Nadiri, which is the church that you had gone to
Yeah.
prior, which has very, again, sad tales about lovers who were not able to love each other because of family reasons or something preventing them from doing so. So for players, very Romeo and Juliet kind of
Hmm.
stories. Um, that being said, that's about the closest thing you can think of with the given uh, gods in the area. You're aware that Handspur is not, while they do have ritualistic killings, it's more of someone saying, "Yes, this is what I want. Um, Go ahead and drown me. That way we can reenact the birthing of our god." For players, Handspur was
I love a commitment.
the way that Handspur reached or ascended to godhood was through various trials, and which eventually led to him dying as a mortal by being drowned and awakening as a god after coming back to life.
Okay.
Right.
So
Alrighty.
it's it's not really something that they would do to remove a face, stab the heart,
Yeah.
and Besmara, which is the uh, pirate god, very much so is not into that. Neither is Pharasma.
Okay. Then what would Garp do? Hmm. If anyone else wants to say what they're going to do first, they go ahead. I'm gonna think on something for a minute.
I'm already doing mine.
Yeah.
I'm already doing mine.
Oh well.
What were you doing again?
I was looking around the. I was planning on looking around the docks, seeing if I could find any signs of anything or anything for me to go on.
You see a lot of boats just anchored to the dock itself. Sailors upset that they can't leave. People walking in and out of the Salty Dog.
I don't think I'll get anywhere with this as a player, but it's just something for Akela to do.
Sure. Sure.
I
Just
have an idea.
Unless someone else needs me.
again, I was just describing a brief thing of what you would see. A couple people fishing, nothing out of the ordinary.
Good man. I do have an idea. Is there a library in town?
There is not.
There's not a library in town. Well, shit. Okay. Well, scratch that idea.
Yep.
Is there anything you were looking for in particular?
I was going to try to see if there's any old documentations on the waterways. Maybe in a book, a city letter. I mean, is there all right? So we know there's a guardhouse. Is there a city hall?
The town itself is governed, uh, funnily enough, by a entity on the other continent.
Hmm. So
Uh,
there's no like mayor or anything like that in the town.
no.
Damn. Okay.
That being said, it's common knowledge that the governess actually is Drow.
Drow. Okay.
Interesting.
And she's not in this city. She's, according you said, across continent.
Yep.
Okay. Well, shit. All right.
This again is common knowledge.
Well then. Well.
Well, well.
Mm, I don't know what Garp would do then. I'm hitting roadblocks everywhere. Ah!
I mean, you could make a check. What's the fishing book you picked up?
It was we didn't give it a name, but it was like just a general like how to fish guide or fishing knowledge book.
Uh, Go ahead and roll me fishing knowledge.
All right, it's just a D20 plus what?
Uh, D20 plus your int plus 2.
Okay, plus.
Would there be anything in my Book of the North pertaining to fishing?
Book of the what?
Book of the North?
Book of the North.
My adventure.
Oh my god.
My
I am
adventure.
cursed.
No, my wow. My adventurer's handbook.
Maybe make a roll for it. That being said, with the 5,
Crawfish is-
you look over your book. You're kind of hunched over it, trying to keep the rain off. But you quickly realize that it's probably not the smartest idea.
What is this? A perception
Um,
or knowledge nature?
let's go with knowledge nature. I'm fairly certain that's what the book is attached to.
So the book does the book give me a plus?
So the way that I've been doing these books is they work as an adventurer chronicle. The way an adventurer chronicle works is you spend a number of rounds researching it. Typically, it's 1d4 rounds, and it can give you various knowledges on the typical subject, or the subject in particular. In the case of your book, that would be knowledge nature, and what it would do is you'd spend 1 to 4 rounds reading to get a +2 on knowledge nature checks.
Oh, so +2 to that, so 19.
Okay. And as far as your thoughts on fishing, you are very certain that fish are more likely to get caught in the rain, seeing as how the water tension above water is constantly being disturbed by the raindrops. The fish believe that there are bugs landing, various sorts. They're also not capable of registering that there's a hook. So their
Raindrops
senses
keep
are
falling on my head.
very disturbed during the rain, which makes them easier to catch. That being said, Garp, you quickly find a drier place to read your book. You can go ahead and roll that check again if you want.
Moi?
You quickly head to a drier area. You can roll that check again if you want.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I very much want to, George. That do 20.
Natural 1.
Don't say that.
How dare you?
Fuck.
Dang, dude.
Carpet. I'm getting the roll 20 today.
He's getting the roll 20 treatment.
So you quickly begin to look over the book. Some of the pages got a little wet, but they're not ruined. That being said, you realize you should probably give it some time to dry.
Well, at least it's not ruined. I don't know what I was thinking. Reading in the rain. Today is just, I don't know. Must be that lamb's fault. Really just set my mind off.
That being said, why would Adressia have been interested in fishing?
I feel like she had read something in the book pertaining to it. And since he was so curious, I wanted to help a little friend out.
Would you go and catch up to Garp?
Oh, absolutely. I thought I was next to him.
He walked off to find a drier area to read his book.
Oh, I would have followed.
So you follow up. Do you inform him of this information?
Of course. Garp, actually, I have a little bit of information for you, concerning your fishing that might help you. The fish are easier to be caught when it's raining.
Is it now? Alright. Wanna go fishing?
It's not thundering, is it?
No, it is currently just a gentle downpour.
I am very much directing this straight to Adressia. Would you like to go fishing?
I guess. I don't know if I would be any good at it.
Well, neither am I, so let's go fishing. And I'm gonna lead her on. I'm gonna go pick up my rods and harpoon.
Obviously. So what are you guys doing to stay dry during all this rain? Something we never touched on.
You know, I don't think we've done anything. Garp's just kind of getting his weekly bath here.
Weekly bath.
Well, we're traveling most of the time.
Amazing.
Okay.
But
So.
he is definitely going to be soaked through. Let's catch fishes. Let's catch fishes. He's in a pleasant mood thinking about catching fish.
Is there a tree or anything nearby?
The dock doesn't have any formal vegetation that you could hide under. That being said, you could probably buy like a raincoat or equivalent.
Is there like a building close enough with a roof that I could have my chair under?
You actually are hiding underneath an awning.
Okay, cool. So.
I mean, yeah, we can get some rain cover.
Yeah, let's go grab something to protect us from the elements before we attempt to catch some fish.
All right, but if it stops raining, I'm gonna be a little sad. I'm just gonna let you know now. How's the sky look? Does it look like it's thinning up, or it looks black?
It looks pretty grayish black. It might
we-
start thundering later, but Could go.
Look, I don't understand the concept of lightning rod, so I'm pretty. So let's get some protection against the water, and then let's fish.
Let's party.
Let's party. All right.
All right.
So, are you looking for like raincoat, poncho? What are you looking forward to?
I just imagine fucking carpet, a poncho, and sombrero. Ahí, señor. No bueno. Pinche Nate.
I mean, if we really wanted to go fishing, I wish I was next level because then I could just call lightning onto the water and electrocute all the fish.
That's fair, but that would only work up to a certain distance.
Right.
So, what exactly are you looking for? Like a tarp to sit under, just poncho to wear?
Well, could we... trying to think.
Little rain boots for landstop?
Go swish splash.
Splish splash, I was taking them back.
I'm trying to think if I have anything that... Yeah, I don't have anything to... And all I have is craft alchemy and herbalism.
Have alchemy and herbalism.
So I would say we just go find a couple of ponchos.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Buy a couple ponchos.
So, ponchos, just a typical clothing item. It's going to
Yeah.
cost you 5 silver pieces per poncho,
Yeah, I'll cover them.
and they weigh about 2 pounds. Keep you dry enough.
Yeah, we got some ponchos.
It comes with a hood, so it's your typical.
It's a typical rain jacket.
Pretty much.
Yes. Now the question is, do I look cute in this poncho? That's what matters. You weren't ready for this. Oh.
I mean, I just don't view Garp or haven't thought of Garp as a cute person. So
Oh, that's so rude of you.
I've viewed him more as a rough alcoholic.
That's pretty much correct.
So to be posed that question, let me roll a check.
D&D, of course the answer is. So let me roll a check.
You're about average.
I love this game.
About average.
Yeah.
I love this game, y'all. I really do. And I love that I get to play it with y'all.
I can accept that I'm about average.
So you guys have ponchos now, and you head to the docks to fish.
Yeah. Cool.
So Aquila just been hanging out towards the docks.
Yeah, pretty much.
What are you doing to stay dry during all of this?
I would probably look for clothing or an umbrella that would suit the job. So I would, in my own way, find my way around to getting a poncho.
Okay. That'll be 5 silver pieces.
I'll pay it.
So far, the ponchos are the only thing in town that have been full price.
We're breaking the banks. We can't afford this anymore.
Okay. So, you've got ponchos, Drestia and Garp are fishing. and we've got about 55 minutes left as far as game time goes. So we can call it here. We can just RP some more if you'd like.
Because next is we go into the sewers, right?
Next, you guys would be heading into the sewers, and
That's gonna be pretty lengthy.
Yeah, we'll just start going into the sewers. I think next time is a good start.
okay, all right.
Okay, Derry. Derry, okay. Okay, Derry.
Anything else? Anyone wants to do checks to see how well they fish?
I want to see how well we fish.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
actually want to
Do your
roll
fishing.
perception to see if I see these two jokers whenever they go out to fish.
Oh, you would definitely see them without a check.
All right.
Oh, well then I'll go bother them.
I'm assuming I don't see anyone come out of the thing all day.
You
Nice.
don't. Neither does your ring go off.
What was the roll for fishing again? It was 1d20. I know it was +2 for
Survival.
survival. That's right.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Come on, don't roll 20 me. I rolled 20.
You got 20'd. You got our 20'd.
Ripperoni.
God, this site's a curse. I need to roll my GARP dice again.
Well, Garp catches a crab.
I got a crab.
Oh, Garp's got crabs.
Oh my god, Daniel, we did it.
Oh,
We did it again, god damn it.
Your hook went.
That was some guy. I'm not gonna lie. That one was kind of low hanging fruit.
A lot low hanging as days nuts.
So you,
It was right there, I'm not sorry.
That's what low hanging means.
You are correct.
All right. How did I dress the idea?
Adrestia did fantastic. Adrestia actually caught a fish. Your hook went backwards and caught a crab off of the grate. That's how you caught that one. Adrestia, on the other hand, caught a cod. So,
Caught a cod.
an Atlantic cod, or what the equivalent of this world would be.
Cool. What do I do with it?
Oh, you put it in a bucket, cook it, catch and release. It's up to you.
I'd probably release it.
Okay.
I take the crab I caught,
Mhm.
and I sneakily get close to the lamb chop, and I open the crab with a pinch lamb chop.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Well, roll me a grapple check first.
Can you grab the crab?
I
Or
forget
will
what
you get
grapple
roll
is.
20'd again?
Is grapple CMD or CMB or what is it?
CMB.
CMB. Okay.
CMB.
It's rolled 1d20 plus CMB.
Hey.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. Roll. Oh, roll. That's in Facebook. Whoops. That's not gonna get me anywhere.
No,
One.
as it happens.
1d20 plus. No, that's almost wrong. Ah, okay.
Well, it definitely beats his CMD.
Unbeknownst to you, this was a Titanic crab.
Bullshit.
Shucks, you grab it.
A shipwrecker crab, maybe?
Maybe, but it's not. There's actually no. There's no crab that fits this description outside of making a smaller iteration of a coconut crab as a joke, which
Hermit crab.
as far as creatures that actually exist. There's a giant hermit crab, but he's not holding something that's large.
I'll need to double check that. I think that there's something that's in the campaign for Rise of the Rune Lords that actually is fairly similar to a crab. but is not actually a crab.
You're a
I'll look it
crab.
up for you.
So what?
The crab pizza. Is
Ryan, don't be so crabby.
Mhm. All right, continue on.
You're able to grab it just fine.
Yeah. Now pinch the shit out of that sheep. Come on, grab.
Okay. Well, in that case, let me find the lesser of these iterations. And it is very much the coconut crab, which will make a snipping attack at lamb chop. And this is going to be with a +3. So that's the crab's CMB to pinch lamb chop.
Lol.
I imagine lamb chop has a much higher CMD than that.
Yes.
Okay.
14.
So the crab does not grab onto the lamb chop at all.
Damn you, crab!
It pinches, it gets some fluff, but it doesn't do any meaningful
Does-
damage.
Does Lamb Chop see this? Or
Lamb chop will feel this, yes.
okay, Lamb Chop's gonna turn around and eat the crab.
Roll to hit. Go for it.
just whole.
I mean, if you
This poor tiny crab.
Crab.
It has done nothing to deserve this. Absolutely nothing.
Funnily enough, that won't hit.
So,
Run, Sebastian!
so I'm guessing. So here's what I imagined: that the crab has latched on to his wool, and Lamb Chop starts spinning in circles trying to bite it.
That would be accurate, yeah. As this crab will eventually release and just kind of fly off the dock into the water again. As lamb chop stops spinning.
Run, Sebastian, run!
So long,
Under the
Bowser.
sea.
Under the sea, downwards, but everything's better. Take it from me. All right.
Close enough.
I don't know. That's what came in my head.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Are we still fishing, or what's it up?
Apparently, under the sea specifically.
Under the sea.
So,
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
God damn.
Let's do fishing bonus.
That's how it's better. Take it
All the
from
fish comes to the
me.
surface, start singing along.
so as far as Nathan is concerned, you do notice one odd thing,
Okay.
and that's there's a child walking around looking pretty confused.
Doing hardcore drugs.
Oh no, a small child. I'm terrified.
Just confused.
Like they're lost, they're confused, they're kind of looking back and forth, not sure which way to go.
Does Adrestia see this?
You are fishing currently.
Oh, then no, I do not.
I just watch the child. I'm not gonna interact. See if
Okay.
anything changes.
The child finally picks a direction and starts heading that way.
Is my ring glowing when she's nearby?
No, your ring is not glowing.
Okay, then yeah, no, I'm still staying.
And you see the child run off back towards where the Church of Pharasma was at. But as far as the session goes today, well done. You guys
All
get,
right.
you know where to go now, and you also know a vague idea of what you're fighting.
We got the GM's hints, guys. We did it. We got his hints.
We
We made
worked there.
progress.
I think we bumbled around a bit, but we got there. We got there.
We definitely bumbled, but we definitely got there eventually.
Well, the bumbling is some of the better memories you get out of D&D.
Sometimes. This time, yes.
Okay.
Woo!
Unless anyone else has any pertinent things they'd like to ask about. Same time next week. Yay, nay.
Yay.
For
Yeah.
this group, yes.
Okay. So
I do have conflict Sunday next week, but this group is good.
I should be good for next week.
okay. So next Saturday at 2:00.
Yep.
Ideally, yes.
Sounds good.
I do. I in a couple weeks. I don't know what it's going to look like, but they're making us bid on schedules again, so I will have to keep y'all front on that. So I don't know. 'Cause they changed the warehouse schedules, and when they change the warehouse schedules, that in turn changes the office hours. So I will keep y'all up to date, but we're good for several weeks right now.
Cool beans.
All right.
All
I
right,
will
y'all
see y'all
have
next
a
week.
good one.
Later, dude.
Later.
Later days.
Later, dude.
Good session.
Who remembers that show? Who remembers that show? Who
Oh,
remembers that
Jordan, watch that
What?
link I posted in this group real
What
quick.
show?
show?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said later days.
And anyone
Alright, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end today's session a little early. And a short little session, that's okay. I need to turn a few things down and off, that one being the first one. But yeah, thank you for everybody that joined us for our session today. We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of RP. Next week seems to be the week that we will be going into sewers and discovering what is down there and hopefully solving the who done it. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the stream there. I've got food on the way and I have a beautiful fiance that's bringing it to me. So go ahead and take off so I can get ready for that. Thank you so much for everybody that joined us today here at the Jarhead X 2006 stream and the Bearded Brotherhood. I have been your bearded benefactor, Andy, and thank you so much. Just as a reminder, our world is going through so much turmoil right now. One with the quarantine, and then two. With all the riots that are going on here. Dallas hasn't been too bad, but I'll say it on stream. You know, I don't like to get political, but I will say his name, George Floyd. It's a man who should still be alive right now, but due to unfortunate circumstances and because of lack of policing on our police, is no longer with us. We need to remember his name. That is known that people aren't going to stand for it. But remember to be kind. I feel like so much of that is lost on people nowadays. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. Kind to others. Everybody's going through something right now. Be kind to this tiny little planet that we live on. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for everybody that stopped by. Thank you for the support that has been given to the stream. And I hope y'all have yourselves a wonderful weekend. I probably won't be streaming again later on today, but we will be on tomorrow with another D&D session of Pegging the Wheel, where we are continuing our way into Celebralia. And my character is learning a whole bunch of new stuff. So Oh man. Thank y'all again. Have yourselves a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. To be kind. Have a great one. And I will see y'all tomorrow.